A long time ago, when Columbus had not made his way to American land, there was a prosperous city, Cahokia, located in the north of Mexico. Known to be one of the biggest American cities, it had a population of about 40,000, which is more than London's population in 1250. Yet, despite the hustle and bustle the city witnessed and the status it held, by 1350, Cahokia disappeared like it never existed. The Native Americans of the Mississippian civilization occupied Cahokia. Unlike the modern movies that portray Native Americans as underdeveloped, they were relatively advanced and made Cahokia one of the most popular cosmopolitan cities of its time, and survived for about 800 years from 600 AD, over 500 years before the arrival of the Europeans. The natives of Cahokia hunted and farmed like most civilizations of that time. While the men were busy in the daily hunting activities, the women engaged themselves in the fields or tended the housework, and would also participate in many social activities. Their houses were simple rectangular structures that were held on wooden walls and covered with a thatched roof. Each house was like an extension of the other, linked with vast courtyards and passages. The Cahokians were regional planners and developed mounds that featured town centers. One of these mounds exists today, like the present-day Cahokia Mound State Historic Site of Illinois, which marks this ancient city. Such mounds involved the laborious work of digging and collecting the earth, carrying and placing millions of feet of dirt with hands and feet as the sole transport system. Of the many mounds the Cahokians built, the Monk's Mound is the largest ever. These areas were developed to allow gatherings of their religious leaders and other religiously influenced people. It was like the central area where religious ceremonies and other spiritual meetings were performed. Despite the active lifestyle by Native Americans and the hard work they invested in this place, the sudden decline of Cahokia is still a matter of mystery. Many archaeological excavations and studies point to a mound that contains signs of mass burials. The Cahokians may have participated in activities that involved human sacrifices, mostly of young women. Hundreds of bodies have been discovered from these mounds that show signs of mass burial sites. Some bodies reveal signs of being strangled to death, while few show signs of bloodletting as the cause of their deaths. Some bodies have also been discovered to be severely mutilated. Cahokia bears no evidence of war, pandemic, or any other sign of mass extinction, except these strange mass burial sites. Researchers argue that the people of this ancient city could have been stringent in their religious practices, which would have demanded such sacrificial rituals. Or perhaps lack of connection with other surrounding cities and the tall mounds didn't allow for any external trades that eventually exhausted all their resources. Some studies even suggest that there could have been social unrest against the violence inflicted on them by their religious leaders, which could have ultimately led to their downfall. Or maybe the ancient Mississippians decided one day that they had enough and simply walked away.